Yes, Grenada, Carrico, Pinimont, and the world. I'd like to welcome you to another Mikey Life program, people. This is where it all happens again. We are talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. This is where everything happens, people. We have no horse in the race. We tell you as it is. Who will like it, they have to bite it. But we give you facts, nothing more, nothing less. Folks, we are making sure that we remain committed to telling you truthful information accurately and timely. You understand? So all you brace yourself, feel comfortable that we got this covered. We want to say hello to the people who are viewing the program for the first time, people. If you're watching the program for the first time, blessings to you and your family. You understand? Those of you who are viewing via WPG10, I hate when people wait for me to come on the program to text me. You see Mikey face on TV, so now is the best time to text me. Hey Mikey, oh God, what is that one? So anyway, people, I mean, it's going to be a busy night tonight. We have a lot of things to tell you about real news in Ololololo. Let's get right into the headlines. Commissioner of Police appeals lenient sentence in sexual assault case. All you, I've never heard of this like that before. No, I liking it. We're going to explain to you. We were telling you about a situation where a man was sentenced, and the sentence that everyone were disliking, $1,500. And, you know, we're going to talk about what's the update on that. Very interesting twist. Former Commissioner of Police, Mr. Fitzroy Bideau, buried today. Jonathan Richards is wanted by police, and the RGPF is seeking owners of stolen goods. The Ministry of Legal Affairs commends the DPP and Commissioner of Police. And Tasha Cobbs cancels Grenada concert. Vice Principal vindicated on sex-related charge. Bus conductor fined for... What? Bus conductor fined for using bank ATM garbage bin as his toilet. Oh my God! Did I just read that? And Johnson baby powder recalled. We'll tell you more about that. Alright, when we return from our break. We want to let you know that the headlines is brought to you through the kind compliments of WPG10. Folks, when you hear we return, it gonna be real news in Ololololo. It's Friday. We will try not to keep it too long, but we have a real thing to tell you about, right? So, you know, get comfortable, drink some water, but most of all, share the program, particularly those of you who are on Facebook. We are coming back.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
Grenada, this one will have you rolling.
I'm breaking up with you.
Look way.
It's over.
The first annual KFC Come Laugh With Us comedy show featuring live from Nigeria comedy sensation Emanuela Success and the Mark Angel comedy crew.
I've sent the date. See you when I come.
Set the day. Mark the day. Saturday, December 14th. Grenada National Stadium. Get your early bird ticket. Kids under 16, $30. Adults, $50. Kids under 16. VIP tickets, $80. Adults, $150. Get your tickets online at GoToFest, TicketPal, and your regular ticket outlets. Grenada, this one will have you rolling. You, yes you, we welcome you to a new era. Genesis, Genesis, Genesis. 31st December 2019, All Year's Night, featuring the headline band from Antigua, the original Burning Flames. Burning Flames. Burning Flames, plus more, live at the Spice Basket Courtyard. Get your early bird tickets, 80 EC. Couples early bird tickets, 150 EC. Online at gotofab.com and your regular ticket outlets for a new era. Genesis, Genesis, you, yes you.
Alrighty. And by the way, the Wagiti Super Knockout football tournament opens tomorrow. Alright, with some very interesting games and of course entertainment. So you are invited to be part of it. Alright. Now, let's get into a few things and things like that. Also, the breeze feeling cool and nice tonight. Nice. Now, again, welcome to the folks who are just joining us. Those of you who are viewing the program for the first time, we would like to say thank you to you for doing so. And those of you who are on WPG10, we'd also like to say thank you to you. By the way, folks, we are going to be moving in our brand new studio as of the beginning of next month. We've been really working hard to organize a brand newly built facility. Yeah, we didn't talk too much about it because we don't know, but it put gravel in the rice. But it is at a stage where it's almost completed, and as of November 1st, we'll be broadcasting from our brand new studio. All right, so let me just disconnect the people who disturbing me. All right, let's go. So the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives and CARICOM Affairs, in collaboration with the European Development Fund, the EDF unit in the Ministry of Finance, will conduct the stakeholders training workshop on Wednesday, 23rd October 2019 at the Grenada Investment Development Corporation, the GIDC conference room at Frequente Industrial Park, St. George's, as part of the packaging and labeling project for small manufacturers and agro-processors. And the workshop will begin at 9 a.m. and it will end at 4. Now, folks, I'm telling you this because this is very, very important, I think, for small businesses. All right, I think for small businesses, this is key. Okay, so earlier, the workshop, it aims to bring together approximately 40 small manufacturers and agro-processors for the purpose of building their knowledge and understanding in the area of packaging and labeling to help them better prepare their products to meet regional and international market standards. Now, participants will learn about effective branding using best practices in packaging and labeling and trends and strategies relative to effective packaging and labeling, among other things. Now, the overall aim of the packaging and labeling project is to help improve the competitiveness of local products in order to obtain greater market access and increase sales for our manufacturers and processors. Now, the project is funded under the European Development Fund. Now, interested agro-processors and manufacturers, you are asked to contact Miss Marcia Frederick at the Ministry of Trades on telephone number 440-2101 extension 31121. Or you can also email marcia.frederick@trade.gov.gd for more information and to confirm your attendance. I think that's a really, really good one. I like to hear those kind of things. That's what small businesses need. All right. Earlier today was the funeral service of former Commissioner of Police, Mr. Fitzroy Bido. He was laid to rest, boy. There was a strong police presence. The Royal Grenada Police Force, they looked beautifully. The big boys, you know, top-ranking officers and so on, from all the different departments of the Royal Grenada Police Force were present at today's funeral service. I don't know, but I find that was a hard walk to walk like that, going up that hill there, you know, dog. Going up that hill there. What? Yes, boy. So Mr. Fitzroy Bido, he was laid to rest today. Quite a bit of people at that funeral service. We just give you a minute of what the environment was like for today. Former Commissioner Fitzroy Bido gave years of service to the Royal Grenada Police Force. In his last few years, he was also a member of Parliament, well, actually, a candidate for the new National Party. All right, folks, we are moving on. Now, the next thing that we have to tell you about, boy, police needs your help in finding an individual. He is a wanted man from St. John, all right, and his name is Mr. Jonathan Richards. Now, police are seeking the assistance of you, the general public, in locating Mr. Richards, who is 25 years old. He is a fisherman of Gulf St. John. Now, Jonathan is wanted for questioning in relation to the offense of housebreaking and stealing. According to police, he is 6 feet 5 inches in height, slim built, dark brown in complexion with dark brown eyes and black plaited hair. Now, anyone with information on the whereabouts of Jonathan Richards, you are asked to contact the CID at telephone number 440-3921, 440-3999, and 440-2266. You can also call the police control at 911 or the nearest police station, all right, and that's a dispatch we received from the Royal Grenada Police Force. Now we are moving on. Earlier, the next thing that we have to tell you about, boy, more what should I call it? More interesting details as the saga continues between the public sector unions and the government. Now, according to the government, the unions refuse to show up for the conciliation meeting in deadlock wage negotiations. Now, according to this release, Labour Commissioner Mr. Cyrus Griffith has issued a second invitation to the union's negotiating team for a pre-conciliation briefing on October 21st. Now, in the letter dispatched today, the Labour Commissioner also proposed another attempt at conciliation involving the disputing parties on Tuesday 22nd. Now, the second invitation was issued after the union's negotiating team failed to show up for today's conciliation talks. Now, the government negotiating team accepted the initial invitation from the Labour Commissioner and showed up for today's conciliation meeting, as well as the pre-meeting on Thursday. Now, the unions also failed to show up for Thursday's pre-conciliation briefing, choosing instead to present a letter to the Labour Commissioner requesting that he use his good office to encourage the disputing parties to return to the negotiating table. Now, Friday's letter from the Labour Commissioner also advised the unions that their failure to attend conciliation constitutes a breach of the Labour Relations Act and the procedures outlined in the collective labour agreement between the unions and government. Now, the conciliation talks are aimed at breaking a deadlock in negotiations declared by the government negotiating team, given the wide disparity in proposals presented by either sides for wage increases for public officers. Now, the union's revised demand represents a 24% increase in salary for public officers over the next contract cycle 2020 to 2023, which is expected to increase government's wage bill by $89 million, just $1 million less than the original proposal. Now, government's negotiating team is offering public officers increases amounting to $27 million as part of an overall package that also includes pension restoration to qualifying officers. Now, I attempted to get word from the other side, but these efforts proved futile. I was given a promise of information for next Monday. All year, we're moving on. Now, the Royal Grenada Police Force, they are seeking owners. All year, come and check out some stolen goods that they have. Now, according to police, investigators have recently seized a quantity of suspected stolen electronic items during police operations in the south. All right? That's the Southern St. George's Area Policing District. Now, police, they are appealing to owners of the goods to visit the Criminal Investigation Department at Green Street, St. George's, with a valid ID and supporting documents of proof of ownership. And they say that investigations are ongoing. It doesn't matter if your house was broken into 3 years ago, still check if you never got your items. When I used to stay in Belmont, they used to break my house like if it's a supermarket. I had to run for my life. Yeah, I mean. So up to now, there are some items that are still out there. Yeah, I mean. That includes a $5 US dollars that my mom gave me as a gift when she first went up to the United States years ago. And you know, she thinked into bright with that, but still, she committed to sending back something for all her children. She sent me $5 US dollars in a postcard. And I cherish that $5 because it was not money to me. It was a gift from my mom. And there was one time I was on the airport, boy. The boy spent out all the money. And I had that $5 with me. And I peck. I could have died of thirst. But I dare not touch that $5 because it was not money. It was a gift from mom. Come back to Grenada with it because I travel with it wherever I go. I had it with me. Come back to Grenada with it. You don't let them buy them thief the money. Anyway, let me that talk there. All year, in a very interesting maneuver, the Commissioner of Police have filed an appeal of the sentence handed down to Treverson Roberts, who was charged summarily and pleaded guilty in the Granville Magistrates Court this week to 1 count of indecent assault. The offense was committed against a minor. Folks, I'm not saying it never happened, but I never heard of it happening like that. That's a boss move, dog. You understand? Because there was public outrage about the leniency of the sentence. You understand? A public outcry about the whole business. And then now, this. You understand? That's a boss move. No. I don't want to share no screen with nobody. Sorry, no. Take that one for yourself. You understand? Eh? The commissioner, in whose name the indecent assault case against was brought, acted on the advice of the Director of Public Prosecutions in appealing the leniency of the sentence. Now, Roberts was sentenced to pay a fine of $1,500 to the state of Grenada and a further $600 to the family of the child as compensation for medical expenses. What? The maximum sentence for the charge of indecent assault is 5 years imprisonment. You're telling me? Folks, the outcry was so loud. I think it's the first time in a long time I'm seeing results from public outcry. That means there's hope. You understand? There's hope. Now, the Ministry of Legal Affairs has noted the concern being expressed by some Grenadians, and I read in a press release, not by some Grenadians, take out of there, who write that? By some Grenadians, nah. Let me rewrite your own thing, let me rewrite it for you. The Ministry of Legal Affairs has noted the concern being expressed by Grenadians regarding the outcome of a recent matter involving a sex offender which was heard in the Grenville Magistrates Court. Information from the court has revealed that a 24-year-old man alleged to be a pastor was charged summarily at the Magistrates Court, right? And pleaded guilty to indecently assaulting a 5-year-old child. He was fined $1,500 in order to pay the medical expenses incurred by the family. No prison term was imposed. I reading now, people? I reading. Now, this matter highlights the issue of sexual offenses in Grenada against children and the need to ensure that existing laws indeed achieve the objective of deterring such offenses and to protect the vulnerable in our society. Lord, you don't see words in context. I love to hear that it's not me saying it is all you know. So yes, I'll get the point. In 2012, after a consultative process with civil society, various provisions relating to sexual offenses in the criminal code were amended to increase the penalties for those offenses. Presently, the Attorney General's office, in consultation with various stakeholders, including the Ministry of Legal Affairs and Social Development, is actively developing various administrative and legislative mechanisms to provide greater protection for children and other victims of sexual offenses. I love it. We are also working on a draft bill relating to the registration of sexual offenders. Hold on, I want to... Oh, hold on. Watch now, man. Come out and me screaming the dog. Right, good. Let me go. Listen to this, all you. So that's a whole new story that we're going to be talking about now. The Ministry of Legal Affairs says we are also working on a draft bill relating to the registration of sexual offenders, which is being considered by various stakeholders in preparation of it being submitted to Parliament. I love this job because I'm happy to tell you them kind of business. So soon we will have our sex offenders register. That helps. You understand? It goes on to say that government is confident that the existing measures and other presently under construction will foster, or consideration, will foster greater effectiveness in the fight against sexual offenses. Because, of course, you understand, them men and them know what they're doing. We were telling all you about it. It's called calculated risks. You understand? It's like riding a bicycle for the first time. You know you might fall. But here's what, you gotta ride because soon you'll have to be a rider. It's like driving a car for the first time, going behind the wheel for the first time. You know there's a possibility of you crashing the car, but it has to be done anyway, calculated risks. And this is what those guys do, so they know the system's soft. You understand? You know, like when they're kneading flour. Yeah, you know what I mean? When they're kneading flour, and they knead it soft, and they press. Every time you apply the pressure, it just bends. That's what the justice system looks like. So we had to strengthen it up. We had to make it firm. You understand? All you. We're going again. Are we looking for time? So the whole Tasha Cobb scandal. Yeah, bid boss. So here what's going on. We want to tell all you about that. I know many of all you. I think that's what's breaking the internet. You know what I mean? Veteran music concert promoter and businessman Steve Duncan, my dog from Guav, organizer of the Grenada Music Festival and the Break Every Chain Gospel Concert, is suing Tasha Cobbs Leonard for the abrupt cancellation of the highly anticipated gospel event scheduled for Grenada National Stadium on Saturday, October 26, just around the corner. The promoter's company, QS Inc., is suing the popular American gospel artist for an undisclosed sum of money for breach of contract, huge financial losses, and damage to his reputation. Tasha Cobb Leonard, who was the headline act for the Break Every Chain Gospel Concert, cancelled her appearance, leaving thousands of her fans and ticket holders disappointed. and the organizers grappling with hundreds of thousands of dollars in losses. According to the promoter of the event, Tasha Cobb Leonard was paid her deposit and travel expenses as required in her contract to perform with a band at the Grenada National Stadium on the 26th of October. Less than 2 weeks before the event, the management of the artist indicated by email that they will like to cancel the Grenada concert. No explanation was given, leaving the organizers, sponsors, and booking agent baffled. However, this is not the first time the in-demand gospel artist has cancelled a Caribbean performance at the last minute, leaving promoters to suffer. But the Grenadian promoter is not taking this matter lightly and is pursuing every legal channel to get justice in this matter. The promoter has already contracted, they say, 2 high-profile entertainment attorneys in New York City, where all contracts were issued to represent his company's interest, and is confident that he will be successful in his attempt to seek justice in this matter. It says, quote, "I have already invested hundreds of thousands of dollars organizing this event." That's according to Steve Duncan. "I have bent backwards to try and accommodate this pastor who insists that she stays at the island's newest diamond resort. Her agent demanded that her full balance be paid 1 month in advance of her travel. This too was done. The organizers were left with no choice but to cancel the event, and the thousands of ticket holders are asked to collect all refunds for tickets purchased at the various points of purchase, or to cancel their online purchase at gotofed.com. Now, the promoter of the Break Every Chain concert would like to sincerely apologize, they say, to all its sponsors and supporters for the decision to cancel the event and for any inconvenience caused, especially to those making travel plans to come to Grenada for the concert. It says that we look forward to your continued support in the future. We have been doing this for many years and have never experienced anything like this. The devil is a liar. That's what my mom would say. The devil is a liar. Now, let me say this to you guys, all right? And I'm speaking of the situation. I'm not speaking of an individual. I'm speaking of the situation. Listen. God does things for a reason. You know, he sees you going down a particular path and you're running there quickly. You trip and you fall and you get a little bruise. You vex. But hey, that's God stopping you from making that bad move. That's God preventing you from going and cause further harm to yourself. So yeah, you could talk about that bruised hand now. But God knows what you are about to get if he didn't prevent you from going further. So my point is, these things happen for a reason. They do. So don't fret and frown on them kind of business. Just say thank God for what it's worth. Down the road later, you would see why. You know what I mean? I don't want to sound all religious on the program because I'm far from it. You know what I mean? All you. Hey, welcome to the Indie Papers segment where I have no control over the content. I just read like they taught me in school. This one is the first that we are going to tell you about, people. This is from the Informer. Welcome to the Indie Papers segment. 5 years after he was slapped with a criminal charge of rape, a charge accusing him of molesting a student at his school, vice principal of the Grand Dance Roman Catholic Primary School has been vindicated, according to this paper. After deliberating for just over 2 hours on Friday, Devon Francis walked down the steps of the #1 Supreme Court in St. George's on Friday, a free man, as a 9-member jury panel returned a majority verdict 7-2 in favor of not guilty on the count of rape, leaving the court with no choice but to usher him out of the prisoner's dock a free man. Now, Francis was accused of molesting a 7-year-old student within the confines of the school, a charge which he denied from its inception. Now, addressing members of the media on Friday, Francis' lawyer Anselm Clouden described the case as a long and very difficult one. However, he noted that at the end of the day, justice prevailed and the verdict delivered by the jury was in keeping with the stand taken by his client from day one. Now, Clouden said it was 5 difficult years for his client, and the evidence as presented to the court by the complainant was very inconsistent and just did not add up to show that what was alleged could have taken place. Now, judging from the evidence provided to the court, Clouden said he is of the view that the charge against his client was a frivolous one and there was nothing in it for a jury properly instructed to return a verdict different than what was attained. Meanwhile, because of the nature of the charge, Francis has to be suspended from his job and had been on half-month salary pending the outcome of his case. Now, when asked what is the next move, Clouden said his client would have to be reinstated and be reimbursed whatever monies owed to him over the period. Efforts to get a comment from Francis as it relates to his feelings now that he has been vindicated from a charge that has kept him off his job for the past 5 years was futile, as his spokesperson indicated to members of the media that they needed to reflect on what had happened. All right, we are moving on. Olio. The next story is no laughing matter. You know what I mean? But different. Okay, so here goes. A Grand Dance bus conductor who appeared before the St. George's Magistrates Court on Monday on a charge of indecent behavior in a public place was fined $300 after accepting full responsibility for his behavior. Now, Acting Chief Magistrate Teddy St. Louis had the sentence of the court handed down on well-known bus conductor Terrence Downs after he pleaded guilty to the charge read to him. All you want to know what the charge is? Hold on, let me read. Downs was arrested by police officers last Tuesday following a complaint made by the manager of one of the leading commercial banks in St. George's, which states that an unidentified man was seen on the bank's CCTV camera footage defecating in the garbage bin that was placed in the area that housed the ATM machine. Yeah, no. For those of you who may be baffled as to what defecating means, defecating is what happens when you have a metabolic reaction in your stomach and there happens to be a posterior expression. In other words, what you do when you go to the toilet. No. During his brief stint at the court on Monday, Downs told the court that he was under the influence of alcohol. He had too much to drink and went to get some sleep inside the ATM that housed the area that housed the ATM machine. So wait, so hold on, people. The man used the place as a bedroom to start off with, and then as if that wasn't enough, well, Panay was home. You probably could have just telling people you thought you was in your house. Well, you had too much to drink and you thought you was home, so you take a little sleep, and then in the middle of the night you get up because you want to use the toilet, and you know the place is kind of dark. You didn't open your eyes, and you know you thought. But wait now, well, what the jail is that? This is funny, but not funny. Like seriously. Eh? So he said he was drunk, had too much to drink, and during the night, he wanted to defecate. Could not find a plastic bag, and therefore, he decided to use the bin. I don't see nothing wrong with that. But with 5 previous convictions to his name, Magistrate St. Louis reminded Downs that his behavior was unacceptable and falls outside of the realm of accepted norms. Downs was fined $300 to be paid on or before December 1st, 2019, failing which he would spend 1 month in prison. What I'm saying is, all you know how tough the place could be, you know what I mean? The man go to the guy like a night rest. You know what I mean? It could have simply been a case where he misjudged where he is. You know, you wake up, sometimes you wake up and the thing, the man go in the toilet, all call police on him, man. Oh, God. They say when they find out who they are, when they check out the video and they realize, they say a manhunter. Manhunter. You can imagine, you know how them ATM areas close up and thing. I can imagine the first person going to tell that morning, boy. What? Bomb drop we? Nah, boy, but partner take win. That one different. I hear about Bush and thing already, but never hear about ATM being a win. Oh yeah, this one's a very interesting one, regarding the Johnson & Johnson. All you heard about it, right? Yeah, so we exiting the in the paper segment for now, alright? And let's go to Johnson & Johnson, boy. All you know, all the parents used to put like a Johnson & Johnson on all the neck, in all the crotch, you know what I mean? But this might just be a thing of the past. What Guelph people used to do it most. I don't know who else does do it. The other day I put some in me, how to call it, you know what I mean? For the first time in like, since I was a baby. And now I see why people do that thing, because when they put that in, and I be sprinkle like a Johnson & Johnson, you know how they call it, you know, you know, like a tree sprinkle. It was warm and it will feel nice and smooth. You know what I mean? So I understand what's going on here, you know what I mean? But there are some serious concerns right now. Now, Johnson & Johnson recalls baby powder after a bottle tested positive for traces of cancer-causing asbestos at the center of 13,000 lawsuits. Imagine that, how many lawsuits they have against them. Now, Johnson & Johnson has issued a voluntary recall of one lot of its talcum baby powder after the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, found traces of the asbestos. It causes cancer. All right. Now, the company made this announcement on Friday. Now, the company said it was issuing the recall out of an abundance of caution, as the amount of asbestos it found was sub-trace and limited to samples from a single bottle. Now, asbestos is a carcinogen known to cause mesothelioma, and tens of thousands of people have sued J&J, claiming that long-term exposure to the substance in its baby powder gave them the cancer, which affects the lining of the chest. Now, citing FDA tests from last month, J&J said that its products broadly do not contain asbestos, but its stock's prices fell by 2.6% ahead of Friday's trading, and that's a suggestion that the public may be responding with some degree of skepticism. All right, but all don't let that prevent us. Well, no, I can't say that. I'm not supposed to say that. You know, at the end of the day, you do what you have to do. But all I'm saying is, boy, when they put out like a Johnson & Johnson, shakam, place mash up. You know what I mean? You're going to work feeling like a boss. You know what I mean? Yes. So, I know sometimes you have extra moisture there, and you know moisture down there is not good. Men, moisture down there is not good. Go do your reading, do your researches. Alright, good. So sometimes you want to get rid of the moisture, and that's with powder and you know things like that would come in good. So I guess so much that's with Johnson & Johnson one, with both adults and children. I'm just saying adults loosely, because I tried and it feel good, and I find I say, well, maybe not me alone. I try that. Maybe other people try too. You know what I mean? Yes. So there is nothing new under the sun. How are we looking for time? All the shady program now. Listen, I don't know how people just come on a program and no shade. Yeah. It just beat me. Just come on and think, all the shady program, just shady program. You understand? No boy. What else I have to tell you? Listen, there are so many things that we have to tell you about. I promised you that I was not going to keep you tonight, alright? What else? Right. So there was the World Food Day event happening in Grenville this week, and of course they did a lot. You know, they were doing they had a lot of agro products and a wide range of stuff. But what I found interesting is that they had talks about pest control, and I know that a lot of farmers has this problem, you know, this issue of pest control. So let's listen to this for a minute.
Well, our display really reflects the negatives, the pest that causes reduction in food production, also causes losses in plant, and so our role is basically to show the people some of the things that, or to highlight some of the things that causes losses in plant life, and also losses in plant production and food production as well. And we have here some insect pests, we have rodents. We reflect a bit of our laboratory diagnostic services to identify plant pests and diseases, and we also providing some amount of information through posters and leaflets and so on to educate the public on some of the pest problems and how best they can manage them in order to minimize the losses from food. Okay, we have some insect pests, which includes the coconut beetle, fruit flies, the cocoa beetle, breadfruit weevil. We also have some quarantine pests, some of these in the region, but we don't have them in Grenada. We're trying to educate educate the people as to what they look like, so they would not probably, when they're importing, that they minimize the risk of it bringing them through imports. We're also showing some of our bacterial diseases, fungal diseases, nematodes, all of which contribute towards the losses in food production.
All right, thank you very much, sir. And we are now due for a break, and we will return shortly.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
For me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Quartz today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Grenada, this one will have you rolling.
I'm breaking up with you. It's over.
The first annual KFC Come Laugh With Us comedy show featuring live from Nigeria comedy sensation Emanuela Success and the Mark Angel comedy crew.
I've sent the date. See you when I come.
Set the date. Mark the date. Saturday, December 14th. Grenada National Stadium. Get your early bird ticket. Kids on the 16th, $30. Adults, $50. Kids on the 16th. VIP tickets, $80. Adults, $150. Get your tickets online at GoToFet, TicketPal, and your regular ticket outlets. Grenada, this one will have you rolling. You, yes, you. We welcome you to a new era. Genesis, Genesis, Genesis. 31st December 2019, All Year's Night, featuring the headline band from Antigua, the original Burning Flames. Burning Flames. Burning Flames, plus more, live at the Spice Basket Courtyard. Get your early bird tickets, 80 EC. Couples early bird tickets, 150 EC. Online at gotofat.com and your regular ticket outlets for a new era. Genesis, Genesis, you, yes, you.
And tonight we are now entering into our entertainment piece for today. It's one that we gave you already, but for a lot of reasons I want to give you today. Today we went to one of the schools. We went on a school tour. I want to share this story with you very quickly. We went to the school tour and we are talking about bullying, and we asked if there's any bully at that particular school, and then a little boy raised his hand and he said, I'm a bully. And so called him up and asked him, why would you say you're a bully? He says, well, I bully my brothers and sisters. Why do you bully your little brothers and sisters? Because my mom shows them more love than she does to me. So I bully them. This really broke our heart. I think it sparked a sort of reaction in everybody that were there. They felt really sad to know that this young boy is going through that. And then to find out that there are a lot of people who feel pressured for one reason or the next, that they feel less of a person. Tonight I want to share this song with you, Hero from Laura Lisa.
If things ever get rough, then don't you give up. There's a hero inside of you. If you look deep inside, I'm sure you will find the hero that lies in you. You're a hero. Strong like a lion, full of strength to carry on. You're a hero. You're a survivor, don't give up so easy now. One step forward, no looking back. Every stumbling block, you're tackling that. Face the storm with resilience, and with your brilliance, you will conquer all. Every time you fall, you rise up standing tall. Gotta give it your all. If things ever get rough, then don't you give up. There's a hero inside of you. If you look deep inside, I'm sure you will find the hero that lies in you. You're a hero. Strong like a lion, full of strength to carry on. You're a hero. You're a survivor, don't give up so easy now. Never be afraid to be bold. Your conscience clear, cause your heart's made of gold, yeah. Don't you believe the lies that you were told. Just trust in the Father, watch things unfold for you. In everything you do, to yourself you must stay true. Cause you were born to be great. If things ever get rough, then don't you give up. There's a hero inside of you. If you look deep inside, I'm sure you will find the hero that lies in you. You're a hero. Strong like a lion, full of strength to carry on. You're a hero. You're a survivor, don't give up so easy now. Keep your hopes and dreams alive. Don't you ever lose a try. Show them that you're great. If things ever get rough, don't you give up. There's a hero inside
satisfies my soul where music is concerned. I love this girl like to death. I don't know what I would do without her music around. I just love her. You know what I mean? This is a powerful song, Hero. It is now time for the National Report.
Unions refuse to show up to conciliation meeting in deadlocked wage negotiations. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Friday, October 18th, I am Rakisha St. Louis. Labour Commissioner Mr. Cyrus Griffith has issued a second invitation to the union's negotiating team for a pre-conciliation briefing on October 21st. In the letter dispatched today, the Labour Commissioner also proposed another attempt at conciliation involving the disputing parties on Tuesday 22nd. The second invitation was issued after the union's negotiating team failed to show up for Friday's conciliation talks. The government negotiating team accepted the initial invitation from the Labour Commissioner and showed up for today's conciliation meeting, as well as the pre-meeting on Thursday. The unions also failed to show up for Thursday's pre-conciliation briefing, choosing instead to present a letter to the Labour Commissioner requesting that he use his good office to encourage the disputing parties to return to the negotiating table. Friday's letter from the Labour Commissioner also advised the unions that their failure to attend conciliation constitutes a breach of the Labour Relations Act and the procedures outlined in the collective labour agreement between the unions and the government. The conciliation talks are aimed at breaking a deadlock in negotiations declared by the government negotiating team, given the wide disparity in proposals presented by either side for wage increases for public officers. The union's revised demand represents a 24% increase in salary for public officers over the next contract cycle, 2020 to 2023, which is expected to increase government's wage bill by $89 million, just $1 million less than the original proposal. Government's negotiating team is offering public officers increases amounting to $27 million as part of an overall package that also includes pension restoration to qualifying officers. Grenada moves a step closer towards implementing a geothermal development project through collaboration with the government of New Zealand. The project will expand access to affordable, reliable, climate-resilient energy solutions from geothermal resources and will also reduce this country's reliance on imported fossil fuel. On Friday, Energy Minister Honourable Gregory Bowen and New Zealand High Commissioner Anton Ohala signed a partnership agreement towards the project's implementation, which is expected to take 3 to 5 years. Minister Bowen described the project as being timely as Grenada anticipates an increase in demands for electricity. He is optimistic that once the project is successful, Grenada can achieve its 2035 sustainable plan of being 100% energy renewable.
We do expect a significant rise in the demand for electricity. It has been stagnant over the last few years, which is, small percentage increases. But with the advancement that we have made with the economy and our plans, our 2035-year plan to significantly improve through the rate that we are going and through the sacrifices that we have made and the results that we have seen, the 5% growth, that should increase, and with it, the demand for electricity. So your intervention, your assistance with the other technical partners will move this forward tremendously.
The project, now in its exploratory stage, with the environmental and social impact assessments nearing completion, will be piloted in St. John and St. Patrick. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Energy and Implementation, Kim Frederick, highlighted the objectives of the geothermal project.
The ultimate objective of the geothermal project is the addition of 15 megawatts of geothermal energy to the national energy mix, which will account for approximately 50% of Grenada's peak electricity demand. Under the Caribbean Geothermal Technical Assistance Facility and through the partnership agreement that will be signed shortly, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade will provide technical assistance services that are mutually agreed by the Government of Grenada and the Government of New Zealand to support geothermal exploration and development in Grenada. The overarching goal is to expand access to affordable, reliable, climate-resilient energy solutions from geothermal resources and the reduced reliance on imported fossil fuel in Grenada.
The government was commended by the High Commissioner on its interest in implementing the project, which will be spread throughout the Caribbean. He pledged his government's continued support to Grenada.
I think we are now building up something of a track record in the region on geothermal, having done some work in Dominica and currently being involved in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as well. And I think that at the pace that the government of Grenada is comfortable at proceeding with this project, we're very keen to continue providing support.
Still with the news, Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell met Friday with New Zealand's High Commissioner for Barbados and the member states of the Caribbean Community, Anton Ohala. Presenting his credentials to the Prime Minister, Mr. Ohala noted the similar challenges faced by Pacific and Caribbean islands, chief among these being the impact of climate change. The importance of renewable energy was discussed, and the Prime Minister recalled having the opportunity to visit alternative energy sites in New Zealand a few years ago. A significant portion of electricity in New Zealand is created using renewable energy. Dr. Mitchell welcomed the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between Grenada and New Zealand, which focuses on geothermal energy. The Prime Minister underscored the importance of technical support in this and other areas, noting that it is an avenue through which Grenada can build its human resource capacity. Grenada and New Zealand established diplomatic relations in September 2013. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Grenada, it's coming as the Ministry of Youth, Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts brings to you National Youth Week 2019 and it's one full week of activities, vibes and action as the nation turns their attention on the nation's youth, and it's from Saturday, October 19 till Saturday, November 2nd under the theme Embracing Opportunities, Soaring Higher. October 19th and 20th, National Community Service Weekend, island-wide. October 26th, Health Walk and Ministers Address. October 28th, Youth Vibe. October 29th, St. John's Youth Parliament. October 30th, Job Fair and Career Day. October 31st, Fun Night. November 1st, Discovering Talents and Expo. November 2nd, it's National Youth Award. Sunday, November 3rd, Ecumenical Service and Peace Concert. So urging everyone to be a part of Youth Week 2019, October 19th to November 2nd.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Legal Affairs has noted the concern being expressed by some Grenadians regarding the outcome of a recent matter involving a sex offender which was heard in the Grenville Magistrate Court. Information from the court has revealed that a 24-year-old man alleged to be a pastor was charged summarily and pleaded guilty to indecently assaulting a 5-year-old child. He was fined $1,500 and ordered to pay the medical expenses incurred by the family. No prison term was imposed. Today we were advised that the Commissioner of Police, on the advice of the Director of the Public Prosecutions, has filed an appeal against the sentence imposed by the magistrate. The essence of that appeal is that the sentence imposed is manifestly inadequate, having regards to the circumstances of the case and the present legislation. Pursuant to the Criminal Code, the offence of indecent assault carries a maximum penalty of 5 years imprisonment. This matter highlights the issue of sexual offences in Grenada against children and the need to ensure that existing laws indeed achieve the objective of deterring such offences and to protect the vulnerable in our society. In 2012, after a consultative process with civil society, various provisions relating to sexual offences in the Criminal Code were amended to increase the penalties for those offences. Presently, the Attorney General's Office, in consultation with various stakeholders, including the Ministers of Legal Affairs and Social Development, is actively developing various administrative and legislative mechanisms to provide greater protection for children and other victims of sexual offences. Work has also been done on the draft bill relating to a registration of the sexual offenders, which has been considered by various stakeholders in preparation of it being submitted to Parliament. Government is confident that the existing measures and others presently under consideration will foster greater effectiveness in the fight against sexual offences.
Thank you very much. And that's where the curtains come down on the national report. And quickly, just to show you the weather, we expect just a bit of rain tonight. And let's see if we will get that. All right, humidity 85%, winds 27 kilometers per hour. That's in St. George's. Folks, thank you for joining us for tonight, and that's as far as we can go for tonight. I gotta run. Everybody, thank you for watching. We gotta go. We have run over our time. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and we have a lot to show you in the coming days. All right, God bless you. Do have yourselves a good time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say ja. No, good night, everyone. WPG10, everyone else. Thank you for watching, Facebook people. Thanks again, all right? I love you guys.